All right, thank you so much, Aliou Nyan, the Secretary General of the Gambia Basketball Association.
So,
Welcome to this special broadcast. First, let me ask you the importance of basketball in this country. How significant it is rising in this country. Talk to us about it.
no, it's highly significant. We believe that basketball is the game of the youth, is the game of the children, is the game of the future, especially with the way basketball is intermarried with academics in particular going forward. And you are evidencing it by the way that basketball is growing every single day in the country.
One thing I've seen in basketball is different from other sports. I mean, a lot of these young folks playing the game, most of them are also focused on education as well. Going to school, after closing from school, they are here in the court to train.
Definitely, because it comes with it. It comes with it. If you're most tracks of development in basketball, well, obviously the highest track was the NBA, and NBA, one of the easiest way to get there is through college, and obviously to get into college, your academics have to be on point. Same thing with most academies that you can get into Europe, which then lead into professional teams and professional contract. And even locally here, even our academies that we have around, most of them put a special emphasis on making sure that at every end of semester, their charges, their awards, the children that are under them, make sure that they submit their grades and so on and so forth. And if they need help, some of them are actually providing remedial support to make sure that the focus on education is not lost in the glory of the sport.
Well, of recent, we have seen that the team went to Bissau, and of course, that's the under 20 American Capital Championship. They won it. What does that say about basketball for the first time in more than a decade, seeing such glory?
It shows that basketball definitely is trajectorying upwards. If you look at the under 21 tournament, all of these are very, very young. I can say 80% of the constitution of that team is what constitutes the current under 17 team. So we intentionally picked them young to provide exposure, and they proved to us that we were right to take them, despite their lack of experience, despite their young age, and even to a certain point, despite their lack of sight, because they are not fully developed. They have proven that when it comes to dealing with the big boys, Gambia really is a force to be reckoned with.
And now the team under 17, both male and female, will be heading to Senegal for the 3-on-3 championship. Talk to us more about this championship. How do you guys get to know about this big event?
So the invitation came through the Gambia National Olympic Committee. We thank them as our partners. They are ever in support of our activities in the furthering of basketball in the Gambia. And it's an under 16 championship, but the reason which will confuse people about the under 16 and under 17, next year is the Youth Olympics. So Dakar, Senegal is using this as an opportunity to prepare themselves for the Youth Olympics next year. And obviously, since that is next year, that will be an under 17 competition. This is like a pre-tournament for that, which is an under 16 competition. So it is when it comes to 3-on-3, mainly it is national rankings and those type of things. So our participation in this tournament will give us a lot of points in terms of our international ranking, which hopefully will get us into the top 12 countries in Africa, in under 17 in particular, and inshallah a spot in the Olympic Games.
And
Olympics Games, sorry.
Interesting. Of course, Senegal will be hosting the Youth Olympic Games, but infrastructure-wise, I'm sure the center is in Senegal is absolutely top-notch, and of course they are going to play in an indoor court as well. You know, how significant is an indoor court specifically in the general terms of basketball?
It takes you from dreams to reality. That's what it does. Yes. If you do not have an indoor court, you can plan and program, but you are doing what is known as the fringe of the sport. Yes. To get to the heart of it, it is basically an important requirement. Now, there is the whole aspect that we can enter in terms of the international regulations, that in order to host international tournaments, you must have an indoor court and so on and so forth. But then there's also the other aspect. When you're playing in an indoor court, unlike the outdoor court, the factors of the game are different. The sun, the wind, those two in particular, they affect the way that, because it's an airborne sport, the ball goes up in the air. So the way the ball reacts in an enclosed space, a controlled environment, and the way it reacts in an uncontrolled environment is totally different. Before we even talk about the whole host of advantages that are there, first of all, being able to play in the rainy season. Second of all, being able to play almost 24 hours a day, because if you go to Senegal, a place like Maurice Ndiaye, consistently 24 hours a day, there's either volleyball or basketball being played there 7 days a week, 54 weeks in a year. So if we have that kind of facility here in Gambia, trust me, it is definitely going to turn a lot of dreams into reality. And when I'm talking about dreams, I'm not just talking about dreams of the athletes, I'm talking about dreams of the federation, dreams of the parents, dreams of the coaches, dreams of the country as a whole, who can then be realized into a reality at a faster pace.
And of course, now let's focus on this competition that is in Senegal. How important is this for the youngsters that will be experiencing the tournament ahead of the next tournament in Dhaka?
It's extremely important. Participating in the tournament doesn't give us automatic qualification, but like I explained, gives us a lot of points that gives us a better standing. That is part one. Part two, in the region, Senegal is, how would I say, not only significant within our Zone 2 region, but significant internationally, both from the youth points and upwards. So if you have exposure to that type of competition at a very young age, it gives you an added advantage as an athlete. So that means that they are dealing at the high level of competition from the start, right? And that is given to us by the fact that Senegal is our immediate neighbor, shown by the Amika Cabral tournament. If we go on the 3-on-3 side also, and inshallah the boys and girls will show themselves out there and prove themselves, it will prove to them, to us, to everybody, that Gambia is ready for the big stage in basketball.
And of recent, like you said, the trajectory in basketball is really incredible. Where do you see the basketball association and its athletes in the next few years to come?
Oh, in the next few years, it will not be an association, inshallah. It will definitely be a federation, and all the constituent entities that come with it, as well as obviously the challenges and as well as all the benefits that will come with that. And inshallah, we will make sure that every single child from Banjul to Koina has the potential to find himself within basketball.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.